Oh, good evening, all my little Rennas and Daisies and Digifluffs and Bunny Fluffs and whatnot. Daisy here in the Renna outfit and some extra fluffiness tonight. And we're gonna do a little game thoughts. This one came out on the Wii and had a little bit extra fun, so I hope at least somebody played at least one of these games. It's gonna be a twofer, because both games are really short. So, without further ado, two Wii games are the Nerf N Strike games, which was just Nerf N Strike and N Strike Elite. Yeah. As many of you probably already know, if you knew me back then, I collected a lot of Nerf guns during the age of the Wii. There were a lot of factors involved in it, and, well, I have quite a stack upstairs that never gets used anymore. But they made two games for the Wii, both of which actually came with a Nerf gun slash Wiimote attachment. So, kind of fun. Basically, all it was a trigger from a Nerf gun, effectively, that would then press the trigger button on the front of the Wiimote. And it held it like a gun. So you got to, well, be holding effectively a Nerf blaster, playing a Nerf game, shooting the TV. Which was actually something that the Wii was severely lacking. Actually good first-person shooter products involving their Wiimote function. It was like the only market they really should have aimed for that they never touched. Granted, their sensor didn't work that great, but it was like worth the thought. So, there were two games, as I showed you. Each of them came with this little small Nerf gun that you flipped a little bit of plastic out, pulled out the actual Nerf dart projecting bit, and you slid in your Wiimote, and ta-da, the trigger on it then would work with the trigger as opposed to triggering the Nerf dart to shoot out. As far as Nerf guns go, they weren't that exciting. They were single-shot pullback ones, so you'd have to keep reloading each time. But as a Wiimote holder, it was awesome. Now, these games weren't the greatest. In fact, the first game was mostly just shooting gallery style, which was okay. It was, I mean, if that's what you want to be into, shooting gallery is not a bad thing. And you're playing shooting gallery with different Nerf guns, some that had already been out, and some that were still in production, not ready to be released yet. So you got some previews. Not exactly how they would shoot necessarily, but it definitely would give you some ideas. So you could, so you get to enjoy effectively shooting targets and things with a Nerf gun without having to go pick up all the darts. And whenever you shot, you saw Nerf darts flying on the screen as opposed to, say, well, bullets or whatever. So you just felt nerfing it. Several good environments to do the shooting in. Progressive stuff. You unlocked more weapons. The usuals for basic progressive type games. And the second one definitely was a lot better. It was less just shooting gallery levels and more on-rail shooter, which was definitely a good attribute. Something I'd miss, one of the few things that still is a good arcade game is a good on-rail shooter. You know, the ones where they have like an Uzi on a platform or whatever, and you're shooting at the bad guys, or red and blue guns that are in the holsters strapped down with the, cord that looks like there's no way you're ever going to steal this. Yeah, they made a lot of those games out in the arcades. But I wasn't seeing as many of those in home consoles, especially not involving, say, the light guns and things, which was kind of a bummer. But we did get this finally at the Wii stage. And yeah, you got to actually use your Wiimote as a railgun shooter. Um, I think you could play 2 players. I don't think it really mattered that much. Um, but you got to shoot with a bunch of different Nerf guns with different effects. Some of them had multiple shots coming out to represent the fact the gun actually did have multiple shots. The long shot, I can't remember if it was a long shot or a long strike. Both of them were sniper rifle types. One of them had a second gun you could clonk off the front of it, and it had a single shot as well as an extension to the main barrel. So whenever you're shooting this gun in the game, you have a big bullet and another small bullet at the same time. So it gives you the effect of all the attributes of the gun. I know one of the guns, at least a couple of guns, shot like 3 darts at once. So you had like a kind of a cluster fire, which was really kind of neat, which they did later come out with a few in the Zombie Hunter line that did stuff like that. All that really meant in my life was, oh, it's more darts I have to go pick up later, because by that time I was already kind of getting out of collecting Nerf guns. I have too many. I was actually looking to potentially liquidate some of this stuff. I figured out how much space I'm taking up with those, and I never play with them anymore, so yeah, they may need to be rehomed. But such is life. So they're not very long games, but that isn't really necessarily a bad thing. They were really cheap. And for the price of a cheap Wii game, you also got that Nerf gun effectively, or Nerf gun adapter for your Wiimote. So you kind of got a toy and a game. If you're a Nerf gun fan, I'd recommend it. If you have a Wii or a Wii U, these should be easy to find in the used bin. You probably have a little harder time finding the Nerf gun attachment, but I have seen them, hang at the baggies on like a GameStop or whatever of the random controller attributes you could buy for Wii stuff. So you might find them. I still have both of mine. They're in the Nerf Dart stuff. And I have no idea which drawer or tote they're currently in. Otherwise, I might have had them for this video. I was not going to dig them out for this. That would have been too much work for this throwaway video. I mean, there really isn't much to say about either game, hence why I'm talking about them together. They were rather existent. Yeah, that's about it. The graphics of the guns were cool. The effects of you shooting Nerf darts on the screen, kind of cool. Still all target shooting, so it wasn't like you were killing things, so also cool. Yeah. If you want some non-violent violence, you got a game for it. 2 of them. Anyway, yeah, did you play either of these? Did you even notice they existed back when they were released? Did you realize there were 2 of them? Or are there more and I'm not realizing it? Let me know, too. So, yeah, that's the thing. Let me know in the comments any of your experiences with this one. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Don't forget to ring the dingly bell. It's down there. It lets you know whenever I post a new video. And my Patreon link will be in the description below. Mwah. And remember, I love all my patrons. I really appreciate you extra special, including my one higher end patron, Trajan. You are such a good puppy, and I think you're just the sweetest little cute puff. I think you should be wearing something fluffy tonight. That's that. All right, my little diggies and buns. I hope you're having a lovely fluffy days yourself. And I hope to see you again on my next video. So for now, Daisy appreciates all your viewernesses, and I hope to see you again super duper soon. Well, bye, little cubs. Oh, I'm using the big palms. There we go. Yay. Bye.